Oh, hello, everybody. It is, in fact, Monday, so that means we got What's the Big Idea? Of course we do. And this week is a tremendous one. This is what I'm so excited for because, of course, since the dawn of this, I wanted to have a real NASA astronaut on the show. And finally, after weeks of asking and cajoling, we have a tremendous astronaut. He is... He got to do stuff that other astronauts would be jealous of. So that is thrilling. I can't wait to pick his brain about his time in space. What's cooler than that? I mean, to me, nothing. So this has been a very exciting get for me. I see he's already here. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I was vamping for no reason. Let's invite him in. Where is he? Where is he? And there he is. All right, here he comes. I mean, truly a freaking dream. Hello.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Show. Oh my Lord, this is so exciting. I'm sure you saw me just grinning ear to ear. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to get into your bio. I want to talk all about your experience. But as we do on What's the Big Idea, we dive right into the questions. Your questions are a topic I assume you're familiar with, the International Space Station. Question number one is worth a cool 1 million fake dollars. Let's see if you know it. This next question is, I think you will. Okay. What is the viewing area of the space station called? Is it called Overview, Cupola, or Instagram Bait? Which one is it for $1 million? What do you think it is? What do you think?
I'm gonna say cupola.
Cupola. That is absolutely correct. I mispronounced it. It is cupola. Thank you so much for doing this. You got 1 million fake dollars. We'll pause the game there. We've got 4 more questions, but if you saw me gushing, I'm so excited that you're doing the show. Let's go through your bio real quick. You have flown the space shuttle. You have lived in the International Space Station for 6 months, and also you wrote previously a book. You have another book out, Floating in Darkness. You are doing it all. You have done things that many other astronauts would be jealous of.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I think so. You've done so much. And so I'm so glad to have you on the show. What kind of inspired you to get into space?
I have the same story as a lot of astronauts my age, which is back on July 20th, 1969, as a little kid, I watched those first footsteps on the moon and wanted to follow in those footsteps.
And so you were just a little kid, and of course that is kind of like, that'll just imprint into your brain. Well, I'm glad you said that, because I think that will come up later in the game. But I'm just so thrilled you're doing this. First time ever speaking to a NASA astronaut. I'm over the world. I feel like this must happen to you all the time, when people are just like insane in your presence. Is that true?
No, that never happened.
Okay, just me. Okay, gotcha.
Just me.
Just me. That's fair. I'll take it. All right. Well, your question number 2 is for 10 million fake dollars. Let's see if you can get it right. If Zarya, the oldest part of the ISS, were a person, what could it do? Drive, drink, or run for president? What do you think?
Drive, drink, or run for president. If Zarya, I assume you mean the module called...
The module, yes. The oldest part of the yes. What do you think it could do? This is kind of a multi-part question.
Can you hold it a little closer? Because
oh, yes, it's yes.
Go up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Drive, drink, or run for president.
Geez, I don't know. It does mean, I think it means sunrise in Russian. I'm going to say drive.
Drive. All right, let's see. For 10 million fake dollars, it is drink. Although technically, you know what? I'm going to give it to you, because at 23 years old, it can also drive.
Is that? Oh, I get. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So you get the 10 million fake dollars. You are technically correct. Question 3 is for 50 billion fake dollars. I mean, that's a huge amount of fake dollars.
A lot of pressure.
This one is, the ISS holds an immortality drive, a backup of humanity's works. Is that true or false? Or is that just a good idea?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's false.
False. It is, oh, I went the wrong way. It is actually true. I think shortly after you went up,
Okay.
they brought an immortality drive. It's just got like Shakespeare on it. It's got like, you know, a bunch of songs people like, in case, you know, something happens and aliens discover us before the ISS decays in its orbit, I guess.
Yeah, I wish that was there when I was there. That would have
I
been.
know. You would have had like just all this data.
God, I just lost 50 billion fake dollars.
Oh no! Don't worry, you don't owe us 50 billion fake dollars. You just didn't win it. But there is a chance to make it up in our fourth question. This is a real toughie. It's a real big or real fake. So this is kind of the inspiration for what's the big idea. I will tell you a scenario, a big idea, and if you think I made it up, then you say real fake. But if you think someone else out there made it up or is thinking about it or wants to do it, you say real big. So if you think I just made it up, then say real fake. If you think it's real, if somebody's advocating this, you say real big. All right.
All right. But good ideas come from anywhere. So it does. I mean, if the big idea came from you, then it's. I don't know why you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself short.
I gotta believe in me more. We have to turn all our fake ideas into real big ideas.
Exactly.
But for this one, we're gonna find out. Oh, I went the wrong way again. This one's worth a whopping $5.
Oh, wow.
So
No pressure.
this one is called Among ISS. In order to inspire the next generation of astronaut scientists, this group proposes creating an ISS-inspired fourth level in the popular game Among Us. Do you play Among Us?
I do not play Among Us, but it sounds like such a good idea. I'm gonna say that's a real idea.
That is a real idea. Oh my Lord. There is a change.org petition to make a fourth level, but designed about the ISS. And to me, I thought that's so smart because it does inspire youth. You know, you're telling me you got into space because of the moon landing. You see it, you want to become it. How do we expose young folks to just the majesty of space?
Exactly.
So I love that. And then our last question before we start getting deeper into your space work and the recent book that you got. It's, you know what, we're going to do a real big dumb question.
Right. I specialize in those.
This one is where you can make it all back. This is worth 100 trillion fake dollars. All right. The final big dumb question right here. So you know when you're on vacation and you come back to your home, you can kind of notice its distinct smell because for once you're not used to it. I guess I'm asking, does Earth smell?
Does Earth smell?
Does Earth smell? You know, like when you come back from vacation, you're like, oh, this is what my house smells like to other people.
Yeah, I think Earth does smell.
How would you describe it?
Well, I remember when I landed in Kazakhstan after my 6-month mission was complete, and they opened up the hatch, and I disconnected my air supply and breathed air for them. I remember distinctly thinking to myself, why have I never noticed how wonderful fresh air smells?
Yes, I love that. And that goes into, well, I will give you the $100 trillion, but that goes into just, I mean, the stuff you're talking about in your book as well, just that overview effect, the kind of how going to space changes your brain, basically. Could you go a little deeper into that?
Yeah, I go way deeper because I think being detached from the Earth provides a different view, and it's whether you're looking at something beautiful. You know, let's say you're looking at a beautiful scene on the Earth. You're looking at a sunrise at the beach. You're standing at the rim of the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Gravity pushes you into that scene. You're within the frame of the masterpiece of that work of art, right?
Yeah.
But when we're looking at the planet from space, we're outside the frame, right? We're on the outside looking in. And from that vantage point, it's just absolutely breathtaking. And what was really interesting is being physically detached from the Earth made me feel deeply interconnected and deeply dependent with everyone on it. You know, this sense of, you know, one human family or, you know, one Earth is really really obvious and undeniable from that vantage point.
Because I think that's such a kind of weird, not conflict, but like you're not on the planet for once. And that makes you feel closer to it. Why do you think that is? I mean, what is it kind of that what triggers that?
I think in order to get a full perspective of something, you need to step outside it. And that really has an application for problem solving, because we tend to try and do a lot of problem solving from within the problem.
Yes.
And that hardly ever works. You have to step outside the problem for you to be able to see the problem from the proper perspective, right? To see where all the pieces fit together. And I think that's, yeah, I mean, it sounds a little metaphorical, but I really think it's true.
I mean, that is exactly what we try to talk about on our show. We want to highlight different big ideas. I don't know, do you have a big idea that you've heard about lately that you're just like, I'm really interested in that. I don't know if it'll work, but that's something that that inspires you, or just a big idea, something cool that you're into.
Well, what I'm really passionate about right now, and what I write about in Floating
Yeah.
Darkness, is this idea that the problems that we're faced with right now are planetary in scale, right? They're in order to solve the very real problems and challenges that we face, we're going to have to solve them within the context of the real world, and all its multi-dimensional complexity and interdependencies and everything else. And so the way that we're going to progress forward and really get on the right track at this pivotal moment in history, like never before, this is a unique time in history.
Yeah.
In order for us to get on the right track, we're going to have to operate as a planetary civilization, as a planetary society. And we need to be the first species in the history of life on our planet to be able to collaborate on a planetary scale. You know, lots of organisms, lots of species that collaborate on a massive scale. You know, ants and bees and everything else, but they all limit their cooperation to their community, however that's defined, the anthill, the beehive, or whatever. So we need to be the first species in history to collaborate and define our community as the entire planet. And we haven't even come close to doing it.
Yeah. I know it is. The way you phrase it as like an opportunity and a challenge, I think is something that I personally have not heard before. I think that's so interesting. It's like, yeah, we can become that first planetary organism, civilization, whatever you want to call it. That is very cool. That's such an interesting way to phrase it.
And not only can we need to. It is a requirement.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all these big projects and how can we work together? Well, there are plenty of examples of how we do that in Floating in Darkness. It is your second book, correct?
It's the second book, yeah.
Second book. Thank you so much for being on the show. Everybody go get Floating in Darkness. Think big, think planetary. Thank you so much, astronaut Ron Garan.
My pleasure, Eric. All the best to you.